Hi, I'm Michael Pikarich, and today I'm going to talk to you about prostate issues. So, according to various websites, one factor is your sex drive. Now, that can be overactive or underactive, either or. Sleeping positions, hormone imbalances, and medications. And according to the sources, the list is actually much longer. I will list in the links so you can also read these yourself. Now, really quickly, talking about where it is placed. So, kidneys is here, and then the urinary bladder. So it is placed above the urinary bladder and next to the urethra. It produces semen and may or may not promote blood flow to the penis. Now, I add this last part because of a prostate issue which affected me in the past. At that time, I wasn't sexually active, so I was quite surprised when I had it. So, first thing I noticed was sleeping face down affected the blood flow. It increased the blood flow. That was to my surprise. And next is if you're sleeping on your side and you have one leg raised, that also increased the blood flow quite a bit. But if both knees are bent as such, this is called the fetal position. And I noticed that increased the blood flow a great deal more and increased my discomfort. So please take that into account when you have such issues. So, according to the symptoms guide, I suffered from what is called prostatitis, which simply means prostate inflammation. So, not all prostate issues have a connection with bacteria or kidney stones, although there is a connection to the kidneys. So, first off, one symptom will be the frequent need to urinate. And then the next will be trouble starting a urine stream. Next, if you do get a stream, it will be a weak one. Just no oomph, so to say. And then the last one is that feeling is not going to go away, even after you're finished. Okay, so now that you have seen these, I'm sure any of you who have suffered from it know exactly what I'm talking about. And this is something that I've been thinking about. No studies have come to this conclusion, so this is purely my hypothesis. So, in many cases, they say that prostatitis is a bacterial infection, and because it has kind of a connection to the bladder. So I believe that it has something to do with what's called your pH balance. Now, the discomfort in the bladder partially comes from how much urine is in it. And as we know, urine is sterile. I mean, if you have an open wound, you can pee on it and it cleans it. So I was thinking that your pH balance can be affected by how much urine is in there and maybe for even how long. So I believe that if your bladder is allowed to get full before urination, that it affects the pH balance, which in turn affects the amount of bacteria or the susceptibility to a bacterial infection, because the prostate is right above it. So many things in the body go in a domino effect. As soon as one thing goes wrong, something else nearby follows. And if you have that feeling to urinate all the time, this may sound like a corny analogy, but your kidneys and your bladder, of course, have a relationship. You ever had the time when you are trying to force it out, but nothing comes out? Think of it kind of like a turkey baster, that if you're trying to press energy into the bladder, it could be kind of creating kind of like a pull to the kidneys to make the kidneys maybe overwork or strain. I don't believe necessarily that blood just flows into the kidneys or the water and that it filters right down here. I believe that the one affects the other. You try to force things here, it might create a strain here, and maybe even vice versa, such as if you drink too much water or consume too much protein, it's going to hurt your kidneys. And then this, in turn, creates kidney stones and affects this. Okay? So I have found in my own experience the best way to prevent inflammation is very simple. Every time I've suffered from inflammation, green tea has been the way I have reduced the inflammation. Discomfort has completely subsided. I hope that any of you who are watching this find this very helpful, because that's all what I'm trying to do, is reach out and help people. So please practice a higher version of yourself. Take care.